Hello, my name is Linda Zelnik, and it is my pleasure to be with you today and to share a little bit about a journey that you can have going from burnout prevention and recovery to boom or balance. So, if you have ever felt like you are burning the candle at both ends, or something's got to give, or everything will, this message might be for you. And I hope that it will give you some hope and restoration, rejuvenation, even in just a few short minutes. Feeling like that may be more than just having to juggle all the things. It might be that you have burnout. It may be burnout with implications that are of the body, the mind, and the spirit. And you're not alone. There's a recent survey out that says 77% of the U.S. workforce has felt or is feeling burnout in their current role. And with stats like that, many of you may be feeling the same thing. It's been a tiring year and a half plus juggling all the things pandemic in addition to normal work and life. We've had more loss and more stress than regular. And high achievers and helping professionals like you are at an especially high rate of risk because you care about others. You're always trying to serve and add value, and you want to be involved in things that are more meaningful and bigger than yourselves. People know, like, and trust you to get things done. And so as ministers and ministry staff, you have also been required to go above and beyond to learn all kinds of things in order to reach your communities during this time. And so burnout may be especially relevant. While this survey measured burnout at work, it can also stem from any area of life. And in fact, especially when our different roles conflict with each other. Many times we are deciding between many meaningful competing priorities, and when those things intersect, it gets tiring and even leads to exhaustion, especially when those things intersect for a long period of time or require a lot of our energy for too long. Michael Gungor says that burnout is what happens when you try to avoid being human for too long. And especially those who are helping others tend to do that. We think if we can just help more people, it feels valuable, we receive value from it, but that often isn't enough to get ourselves rejuvenated, and we cannot give what we do not have. So it's important to know that this excessive and prolonged stress impacts us emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And some of the ways that we see this showing up is by feeling irritable, exhausted, and having decreased engagement for what we're involved in. If you feel like you care less about things that you normally are very passionate about, that is a sign of burnout. The good news is there are simple truths that you can start, simple strategies and shifts that you can start taking today to impact your energy level, to reduce your stress, and to start moving from that burnout to boom right away. So first of all, we can do this on a personal level by intentionally reframing our thoughts on what is possible. If you give yourself permission to slow down, to do less, to find ways to get that break that you so desperately need, you will be able to serve more and better in the way that you desire. And giving yourself that reframe also includes enlisting support for you. Helpers often don't want to ask for help because you are used to providing help. And so when you get burned out, it's hard to even say what you need. You may not know and feel in tune to that. But when we see these signs and we do enlist our community of support, you can help them because they want to support you, and you can help yourself by filling up your own bucket or your own vase in order to keep pouring out. That reframe of giving yourself permission and getting support is a valuable step, and one that really is important to do on a sustainable and prolonged basis so that burnout is then prevented after your recovery. Another thing that we can do is for our community, for your workplace, for your churches, for your church members, is to just keep an eye on it with your team. Do morale check-ins, see how people are feeling about the workload, how they're feeling about their service and their role. A lot of studies show that it really isn't the workload itself, it's how it feels. And so just by asking those questions, making that conversation accessible, burnout prevention and recovery can begin. Offering authentic empathy and communicating someone's value really goes a long way for them starting to feel like what they do matters. And that is an important part of recovery and prevention. Requesting feedback is another way. So just working together, especially when we feel burnout, it is hard to help others recover. But when you do gather together and just do a morale check, you get express empathy for each other and communicate value, you're really filling each other's buckets. Finally, as leaders, it's important to demonstrate your own work-life balance, which in essence gives other people on your team the permission to do that as well. So the pandemic has definitely raised our risk factors for burnout. It isn't the only thing, but now that we are here, we can start to work through prevention and recovery and create sustainable change that will also help us when we are on the other side of that. I hope this message has been encouraging to you today. If you're interested in hearing more, I do have monthly webinars on this topic where I deliver 5 strategies in an hour to help you create something specific and measurable for moving forward in your journey from burnout to boom.